Imagine a life that never ends. A life that spans across time and space. A life that is full of wonder, mystery, and adventure. This is not a fantasy. This is the reality of the 7 immortals of Hinduism, who are still alive today and who have witnessed the history of the cosmos. Who are these 7 immortals, and what are their stories? The first one is Ashwatthama, the cursed warrior. He was a brave and skilled fighter who fought in the epic war of Kurukshetra, but he also committed a terrible crime. He killed the sons of his enemies in their sleep, thinking they were his foes. He also tried to kill the unborn child of Arjuna, who was destined to rule the world. When Krishna, the supreme god, learned about this, he was furious. He cursed Ashwatthama to roam the earth with a wound on his forehead that never heals, as a mark of his sin. He also took away his divine weapons and his chariot. He condemned him to suffer from pain, disease, and loneliness for eternity. Ashwatthama is still wandering on this planet, looking for a way to end his misery. He is living in forests and caves, avoiding human contact. He is also waiting for the arrival of Kalki, the final avatar of Vishnu, who will end this age of darkness and usher in a new age of light. The second one is Bali, the generous king. He was a righteous and benevolent ruler who conquered all the 3 worlds with his power and charity. He was also a devotee of Vishnu, who respected him for his virtues. But he also had a flaw. He was proud of his achievements and wanted to expand his empire further. He performed a sacrifice to please the gods and asked them for more blessings. He also promised to give anything that anyone asked from him during the sacrifice. This was his downfall. Vishnu took advantage of his promise and came to him as Vamana, a dwarf Brahmin. He asked Bali for 3 steps of land as a gift. Bali agreed without hesitation. But then Vamana revealed his true form and grew into a giant. He covered the earth with 1 step and the sky with another. He then asked Bali where he should place his 3rd step. Bali realized his mistake and surrendered to Vishnu. He offered his head as the 3rd step. Vishnu was pleased with his humility and granted him a boon. He allowed him to rule the underworld as its king and return to earth once every year during the festival of Onam. Bali is still ruling the underworld with justice and compassion. He is also visiting his people on earth every year during Onam, bringing joy and prosperity to them. He is also waiting for Vishnu's next avatar as Kalki, who will make him his ally in the final battle against evil. The third one is Hanuman, the monkey god. He was born as the son of Anjana, a female monkey, and Vayu, the wind god. He had many extraordinary powers such as flying, changing size and shape, lifting mountains and crossing oceans. He was also a loyal friend and servant of Rama, the human avatar of Vishnu. He helped Rama in his quest to rescue his wife Sita from Ravana, the demon king of Lanka. He performed many heroic deeds such as burning Lanka with his tail, finding Sita in Ashoka garden, carrying a mountain full of medicinal herbs to heal Lakshmana, and leading an army of monkeys against Ravana's forces. He was also a humble and obedient follower of Rama's commands. He never asked for any reward or recognition for his services. He only wanted Rama's love and blessings. Rama was touched by Hanuman's devotion and granted him a boon. He blessed him to remain alive as long as his name is chanted by people. He also told him that he would always be present wherever the Ramayana is recited. Hanuman is still living on this earth, spreading the message of Rama and inspiring people with his faith and courage. He is residing in the Himalayas, meditating on Rama's name. He is also appearing in various places and times, helping those who are in need and protecting those who are devoted to Rama. The fourth one is Kripa, the impartial teacher. He was born from a clump of grass and was blessed by Shiva to be immortal. He was also a master of archery and warfare, who taught the art of fighting to both the Pandavas and the Kauravas. He was also a neutral and impartial observer of the Kurukshetra war, who did not take sides with either party. He fought on the side of the Kauravas only because he was bound by his duty as a teacher. He also tried to prevent the war from happening by advising both parties to seek peace and compromise. He was also one of the few survivors of the war, along with Ashwatthama. He witnessed the death and destruction caused by the war and felt sorry for both sides. He also helped in performing the last rites for the dead warriors and in restoring order and harmony in the aftermath of the war. He is still living on this earth, teaching and guiding people in the path of righteousness and duty. He is also waiting for Kalki, who will appoint him as his teacher and mentor. The fifth one is Parashurama, the angry sage. He was born as a Brahmin but became a warrior to avenge his father's death. His father was Jamadagni, a sage who possessed a divine cow that could grant any wish. His father was killed by Kartavirya Arjuna, a Kshatriya king who wanted to steal the cow. Parashurama was enraged by this injustice and swore to kill all the Kshatriyas on earth. He took his father's axe and went on a rampage, killing every Kshatriya he encountered. He did this 21 times, until he had cleansed the earth of their blood. He then gave away the earth to Kashyapa, another sage, and retired to the mountains to meditate. He also met Rama, his successor as Vishnu's avatar, and tested him by challenging him to break his bow. Rama succeeded in breaking the bow, and Parashurama accepted him as his superior. He is still living on this earth, practicing penance and austerity in the Himalayas. He is guarding the sacred land of Kerala, where he had settled many Brahmins after his conquests. He is also waiting for Kalki, who will take his axe from him and use it to destroy evil. The sixth one is Ved Vyasa, the visionary poet. He was born as the son of a fisherwoman and a wandering sage. He was also known as Krishna Dvaipayana, because he was dark-skinned and born on an island. He was a prodigy who mastered all branches of knowledge at a young age. He also had a divine vision that enabled him to see the past, present, and future. He decided to use his vision and his skills to write down the sacred scriptures that were orally transmitted by sages for generations. He divided the Vedas into 4 parts: Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda. He also composed the Mahabharata, which is considered to be the longest epic poem in history. It contains over 74,000 verses and narrates the story of the Kurukshetra war and its consequences. He also wrote the Puranas, which are collections of stories about gods, goddesses, demons, sages, and kings. He also wrote the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of the Mahabharata and the most sacred scripture of Hinduism. It contains the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield, where Krishna reveals the secrets of life and death, action and inaction, duty and desire. He is still living on this earth, preserving and propagating the wisdom of the scriptures. He is residing in Badarikashrama, a holy place in the Himalayas, where he teaches his disciples and edits his works. He is also waiting for Kalki, who will learn from him the secrets of creation and destruction. The seventh one is Markandeya, the faithful devotee. He was born as the son of Marikandu, a sage who prayed to Shiva for a child. Shiva gave him 2 options. He could have a son who would live for 16 years, but would be virtuous and wise. Or he could have a son who would live for a long time, but would be ignorant and wicked. Marikandu chose the first option, and named his son Markandeya. Markandeya grew up to be a pious and intelligent boy, who was devoted to Shiva. He knew that he was destined to die at 16, and accepted his fate with courage. He spent his last day in worshipping Shiva in a temple near a lake. When Yama, the god of death, came to take his life, Markandeya hugged the Shiva Linga, the symbol of Shiva, and refused to let go. Yama tried to pull him away with his noose, but ended up catching the Shiva Linga as well. This angered Shiva, who emerged from the linga and kicked Yama away. He then declared that Markandeya would be immortal and free from aging and death. Markandeya was overjoyed by Shiva's grace and thanked him profusely. He then witnessed a marvelous sight. He saw Shiva as Nataraja, the Lord of Dance, who performed the cosmic dance of creation and destruction. He also saw Vishnu as Narayana, the Lord of Preservation, who slept on a serpent in the ocean of milk. He also saw Brahma as Hiranyagarbha, the Lord of Creation, who emerged from a lotus in Vishnu's navel. He also saw something that no one else had ever seen. He saw Vishnu as Mahavishnu, the Supreme Lord of all lords, who created countless universes from his pores. He saw one such universe enter Vishnu's mouth and disappear. He realized that he was inside that universe and that it was about to end. He felt a strong suction force that pulled him towards Vishnu's mouth. He tried to resist, but it was futile. He entered Vishnu's mouth and lost consciousness. He then woke up in the same temple where he had worshipped Shiva. He saw that everything was normal and that no time had passed. He realized that he had seen a vision of the end and beginning of every universe. He was amazed by this experience and understood the mystery of life and death. He is still living on this earth, meditating on Shiva and Vishnu, and sharing his insights with others. He is residing in a cave near the lake where he had met Yama. He is also waiting for Kalki, who will reveal to him the ultimate truth of existence. These are the 7 immortals of Hinduism, who have amazing stories and secrets to share. They are not only legends, but also sources of inspiration and wisdom for us. They remind us that life is eternal and that we can overcome any challenge with faith and courage. They also invite us to join them in their journey of discovery and adventure. They ask us to follow their footsteps and seek the divine in ourselves and others. They challenge us to live our lives with passion and purpose.